Hey everybody, I want to do my top 10 favorite fantasy books, just single books. Maybe they're standalones or maybe they're part of series, maybe the series are finished or not. I've made another video where I talk about my top 10 favorite completed fantasy series. These are just my favorite fantasy books, period. Lists like this, they can change from year to year, and maybe there's a book that I'm forgetting that I need to include a year from now. So they're always fluid, they always change. Nothing's ever etched in stone, but it's fun to look at people's lists, see what they are, see if you read them, see if they agree. So let's see what we think of my list. Number 10 of this is The Sword of Kaigen by M.L. Wang. This book is I've never read anything like it. It is raw and tragic and stunning and beautiful. It is about a woman, a mother who fears her society. She actually fears her children and her husband for good reason. And her world she has a secret world, but now she's a mother, and the political and cultural shifts are changing in her where she lives, and everything just smashes. It just smashes together. This book has one of the best duels I've ever read in any book. You've probably heard of it. You need to read it. It's a standalone, and it's phenomenal. Number 9 is A Day of Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon. This is the Roots of Chaos series. These are dense books. The first one is The Priory of the Orange Tree. They're dense, kind of difficult books to read. They're flowery, purple language. Sometimes that can put people a little off. But if you get past that, you will find incredibly in-depth characters, very rich world building, characters that are integritous. In a world of grimdark, where everything is grimdark, which I like, this book is about integrity. It's the opposite of grimdark, and the relationship and friendships are beautiful and complex. And this is definitely one of my favorite fantasy books I've ever read. Number 8 is Memories of Ice by Stephen Eriskon. This is part of the Malazan Book of the Fallen. It's the third book. It's probably the best book in the main 10 book series. It's amazing. It's a masterpiece. When you read Malazan Book of the Fallen, you should get to this third book to see if you like the series. You should make that your goal. Get to the third book. It has such complex characters. Politics are very complicated and rewarding, and the battle scenes and just the atmosphere and the tone and the opacity of the writing. There's nothing like it. Number 7 is Excalibur by Bernard Cornwell. This is an Arthurian saga. It is part of the Warlord Chronicles. It's the second book. The entire trilogy is a must-read. It's about a main character named Derval and his experience with Arthur and Merlin and Nimue, and a retelling of the Arthurian saga. It's one of the best things I've ever read. It's almost self-deprecating, and it has a ton of humor. It has a lot of the cultural changes that are happening with the Christians and the Druids, and then the Saxons that are coming in, and all of these changes and how they're navigating that over impeccable first-person storytelling. Number 6 is The Last Argument of Kings by Joe Abercrombie. This is the Lord Grimdark. The First Law trilogy is one of my favorite fantasy trilogies of all time. This is the last in that, and he just really sticks to the landing. The richness of the characters, how it resolves, the resolution and the character arcs, it's beautifully done. It's one of my favorite books. Number 5 is Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb. This is part of the Farseer trilogy, the first in the realm of the Elderlings. Fitz is my favorite character probably in all of fantasy, one of my favorite characters in all of fantasy, and what happens to him. I've never emotionally connected with a character more than Fitz, and what happens to him in this book will destroy you, and it destroyed me, and I've never forgotten it, and that's why it's one of my favorite fantasy books I've ever read. Number 4 is Wizard and Glass. This is by Stephen King. This is part of the Dark Tower series. Every book is quite different, and Wizard of Glass the entire book is a flashback from the main character Roland, and it is one of the best told stories I've ever read. Number 3 is Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson, part of the Stormlight Archive. I love the Stormlight Archive. I loved Win and Truth. I love all 5 books, not equally. And the second book, as many agree, it's probably the best. Although I loved Oathbringer too. That competes. And Way of the Kings was really good too. Lots of things come together in Words of Radiance. The characters are amazing. The resolution, the climax is just impeccable. It's a very, very well told story, and it definitely is a top tier fantasy book. Number 2 is Storm of Swords by George R. Martin. It is one of the finest fantasy books I've ever read. The depth of every single character, their character arcs, the brutality of the world, the immersion of the world. There is absolutely nothing like it. It stands on its own leg. Just as one book, it's worth it to read the series just to read Storm of Swords. You don't even need to finish the series. It doesn't matter if the series is finished or not. This is singly single-handedly one of the best fantasy books ever written. Number one is Fellowship of the Ring. It has to be. It has to be on the list. The Lord of the Rings is too good for my list, but I had to put Fellowship of the Ring. It is my favorite of the trilogy, and honestly, all three of them are just take the number one spot. But there's something about the Fellowship of the Ring as I reread the Lord of the Rings that just sucks me in so much, and I love the character. I have such tenderness and love for these characters. I love how the adventure sets up. I love the escape with Frodo to Rivendell. It's just, there is nothing, absolutely nothing like it. Let me know what I missed, or maybe if something will be I haven't read yet that'll take a spot on number 10. I'll wrap it up. Thank you for watching. You can check out, please subscribe if you like my content. You can check out my website, wickwelker.com. I'm an author, and you can check out my stuff if you would like. No pressure there. And then I'm a medical doctor. I do anesthesiology and intensive care. I do a podcast called ICU Doc Talk, which I talk about intense medical topics, but I also talk about books more in depth, in nonfiction and fiction. I give my full reviews of lots of books in that podcast, so you can take a look there. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.